Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Rob's Rig. So today, let's talk about 6 go-to mods for your new Jeep Wrangler. At least 6 go-to mods for me. These are very handy, make life a little bit easier, and very simple to install. Anybody can do these mods. So let's go ahead, take a look at the first one, and I actually have to open the hood to do this. Still wish they put some kind of a lock somewhere on here, but they don't. And you'll notice my hood goes up by itself. Now, this is handy, of course, if you're under the hood a lot, or you just don't want to risk breaking this cheapo plastic holder up here for the rod. I always hated taking these things down because every time I do, it sounds like this thing's going to crack and break. But anyway, what I've got on here are the Redline tuning hood struts. Obviously, they make it easier to put the hood up and down. You just grab and pull when you want to close and let go and let it open itself. Love that. Now, some people may wonder, I guess, what if you want to flip the hood all the way back? Because that's a Jeep thing, right? They even put this little quick release down here so you can pull the struts off if you want to and go ahead and set the hood back against the top up there. Love these things. Easy bolt-on application, no drilling whatsoever. Just brackets that fit into existing spots on the hood itself. Love that feature. Next up, while we're under the hood, the cold air intake. Now, this, and I'll admit, may not be the best intake out there when it comes to quality. I mean, there are some things on it that are just a little bit off, but in this case, I was looking more for sound. And this thing, of all the intakes that I've tried on the Jeep Wrangler, or Jeep at all, gives you the best sound, a nice throaty growl when you get on the gas or accelerate. Now, there are a couple downfalls to this, full disclosure. If you want to change the filter on this one, you almost have to remove the whole intake to do it. There are 4 screws, 2 up here and 2 down there that you got to pull off to be able to access the filter to pull it out. It's probably the biggest downfall of this particular cold air intake, but the good thing about it is it has this nice filter inside that's gonna last, depending on how you use it, several thousand miles, and you're not gonna have to change it frequently anyway. So I guess if there is an upside to it, that's probably it. Install is really simple, fits in there really well. You've got all of the existing factory connections, of course, the MAF sensor. And one thing I will mention, there is another downfall to this, and I know I'm talking about the best go-to and I'm talking about downfalls, right? But I like to be transparent or honest with you guys. It has a washer, or a grommet rather, that you have to put in this hole yourself. In my opinion, it should come already inserted because it is a pain to do. And once you get it in, you have to be very careful when you're inserting the mass airflow sensor because it's very fragile. I actually put one of these on a Jeep Gladiator and I broke the mass airflow sensor really twice trying to get it inside. Cost me an extra 60 bucks because I had to buy 2 new sensors. So just something to be aware of. However, in the end, well worth it, in my opinion. Now, the next one, we kind of have to look inside a little, and this is just cool, functional, and easy to do. And it is the flashlight mount that kind of clamps right on to the seat bracket on the driver's side. And I suppose you could flip it around and put it over on the passenger side if you wanted. Maybe you're going to carry 2 flashlights. I don't know. I would always have it on the driver's side. But anyway, we'll go ahead and turn it on. You can see it actually functions. You just pull it out of this holder here. It fits in there very tightly. Just grab it and pull it out. And then you have a flashlight if you ever need it. For example, if maybe, I don't know, you get a flat tire somewhere, or maybe in my case where I actually used it to do something underneath the footwell there. Not really a big intended use, but nonetheless works really well. Another one that I just noticed that we'll kind of call this a bonus because I didn't put it on my list, and those are the all-weather floor mats. Love these things, and let's go ahead and kick that flashlight on again. You can see it has a topographical type map in it. Also, the Jeep name, I guess, there in the side. They provide really good protection and nice and sturdy. I really like these. I love the way that they fit, and I love the design. If we look in the back, I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see these back there, but same kind of thing. They've got the Jeep name there with a topographical map. We've, of course, got good coverage over the hump in the middle, which, by the way, does have a Jeep on it. Just kind of a cool thing, I guess, to add to the Jeep. Now, well, let's go ahead and turn this off. Make sure you don't run the battery down, right? And these do have batteries in them. They're not rechargeable. I prefer regular batteries over rechargeable. You can get either one. Next up, and I'm not talking about the ducks up there, the phone mount with this. It's called a Ruby Grid. I don't know if you can see the name of it, but it just screws into the existing screw points inside the dash. There is that cover. You pop that off and then screw this on. And then you can set up any kind of a mount or holder that you want. I use a magnetic mount on the back of the phone, which is what you guys are on right now, is a metal plate that's kind of double-sided taped to the phone. I just put the phone right up against there when I'm driving, and it's a good place to store the phone other than, I guess, down inside the cup holders or maybe one of these little trays if you happen to have those. Plus, I use it for filming, making videos and things when I'm on the road. And yeah, I know, not everybody does that, right? Next up, I think this is number 5, if you're keeping count, is the seat gap filler. This right here. Love these things. Very simple concept. They just go over the seat belt clasp here and tuck in between the seat and the center console, as you can see. And if you didn't know what they're for, you will if you ever drop anything down in this area, because chances are it's going to end up down below your seat somewhere or into that cavern that you're never going to find anything. Could be your keys, your cell phone, change, your wallet, credit cards, French fries, you name it. Very cheap investment just to relieve a little bit of stress. And you know what I'm talking about if that's ever happened to you, right? Lastly, we're going to move to the outside. These are very simple. They're just covers that snap over the chrome, I guess, locks on the outside of the Jeep. I'm not a big fan of chrome, so anything that I can put on to hide or cover up the chrome is always good. Plus, there really isn't any chrome anywhere else on this Jeep Wrangler, so it was kind of an eyesore, to be honest. This thing, again, it's just held on by friction, just pushes on, and that's it. If you ever need to maybe access the key thing there, maybe, I don't know, the Jeep quits working electronically, you can't get it open, you just pull it off, stick your key in, turn the lock, and open the Jeep up. Anyway, those are just 6, really 7, go-to Jeep Wrangler mods for me. All of them are, again, things that you can do by yourself. You don't have to pay somebody to do it. Very simple. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Have any of these? And what else am I missing that's very simple but yet useful? I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.